Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to Tour de France 2023. This is episode number 2 of the brand new Pro Leader Let's Play. This, for me, is probably the best feature of this game, right here. Development of your rider is based on completing objectives. But, unlike in, say, Pro Cycling Manager, where you choose one path, one track, and then you get a random assortment of attribute increases, here, each attribute, each advance is based on its own progression track, its own set of objectives, and you complete objectives for each attribute and they increase your overall rating in that area, which is awesome. The only hard thing on that one is when you're really bad at a given attribute, it's going to be hard to find those initial points. As you get better, it might be easier to do those things. However, I suppose at the same time, the objectives aren't all created equal. Finish a flat stage, 1 of 1. There's an attribute point. Finish a flat stage, 1 of 15. Okay, that took a lot more to happen. But even if you're really bad, eventually that one is going to happen. Finish individual time trials. Okay, now you get into the more complicated stuff. Win a flat stage. You only have to do it once to get one of those attribute points, but you're going to have to do it 20 times to get one of those final points. So it does scale up. It starts easy, gets hard. It's actually, that works out perfectly for you to see growth and development of your riders. Target specific objectives, do those specific things, even if it comes at some great expense in your early season or two, and you see your rider develop a lot faster, and as a result, be competitive and be able to get the results you want. It's okay to suck early on if you're learning from it, such as sprinting. We already picked up a good amount. I still have some breakaway options. I still have intermediate sprint options. That's a good way to pick up some points because sprint and acceleration can absolutely be handy just about anywhere. Hills, Cat 3, Cat 4 climbs, Cat 2 climbs, finish hilly stages, okay, medium mountains, Cat 2 climbs, okay, mountains are Cat 2 or Cat 1 climbs. Those are going to be a lot harder. This is our main attribute, supposedly, is mountain. That's the track we are on, and yet this is going to be one of the hardest things to get in the early stages. I think it's going to take a while before we actually develop our abilities as a mountain rider. Time trialing is also going to take a while, but it looks like we can get solo breakaway. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Solo breakaway being a time trial track because it's like a time trial if you're riding solo. That actually makes sense. Prologue will show up in much the same way. Stamina, also getting it. So there's a lot of breakaway points still available to us, which means probably for the entirety of this first season, we're going to be trying to get into breakaway after breakaway after breakaway and pick those up. Before I start our second race, kind of a quick note of how the other type of progression is going to work. That progression being unlocking races. I don't know how we generally do that. I do know that we only have 3 races in this first season, and I would figure progression is going to have something to do with performance. But performance is a rather difficult thing to achieve when we only have 3 races. We were 10th in the team classification, now we're 24th. Why? Because, well, we just went past 5 races without even an invite to those. So I'm not quite sure how we're going to manage to progress and unlock more races. Maybe it comes through rider development, but I would imagine it comes through team progression, as in team performance. And that feels tricky when we only have 3 races. But we'll keep an eye on that. For now, of course, the major thing we want to focus on, especially as we're in that pro leader mode, is to develop our rider. So we'll take the races we have, we'll get into breakaways. This is another 3-stager, the Breach Cup. My rating might have improved by 1.5 points, but my condition is not good for this race. We had a positive, a +2, +3 on each of the stages last time. This time we're carrying a negative of -2, -3. I think that's going to offset and actually make us either worse or about the same as how we were last time. So I don't think this race is necessarily going to suddenly be better for us. Stage 1, quite simple. We're going to have a single Cat 4, which would be a great opportunity to wear a jersey if we can take that one, and 2 sprints, 2 intermediate sprints until the final sprint. Figure if we can get into the break, we'll have 3 competitive nodes real quickly and then get to the end of the stage. And no one has attacked yet, and I'm already getting to the front, so perfect timing on that. And
for the next 2 stages, that will be far more important. Have a good race.
They want me to save my strength, but I know where it's at for me. It's in the break. Ooh. So you don't have to accumulate the kilometers all at once. It's spread out over time because we just got off the front and we just completed our task of getting 25k solo off the front. So there's an objective complete just like that. For now, we're gonna ride almost full gas here. I'd love to see a proper solo break here. I'm out to 38 seconds. If they let me go solo on this one, then, well, for one, that Cat 4 is going to be quite easy. The intermediate sprints are going to be quite easy. This is really going to set us up for some long-term success. 50 seconds ahead. For now, I keep pushing because we want to open that gap. The way PCM works, real life doesn't quite resemble this, but yes, that's 1 minute. The way PCM works is generally the peloton will ease up once you get to 2 minutes. 2 minutes, peloton backs off, and then they're going to let you get out as far as you need or want to get. We're up to a minute 10. So for now, I kind of want to keep pushing for that 2 minute mark. Back off a little bit more as we are out to a minute and a half here. 1 2/3 minutes. We've almost got that 2 minute, and I'm gonna back off even more now.
Counter-attack attempt.
The wild. But we definitely do get some solo kilometers, which is good. It's now over 2 minutes to the peloton, but one rider decides that they want to join me. So we do get some solo kilometers here, but not the entirety of this break. That's good. Solo kilometers in any quantity is a welcome addition, and only one rider to have to ride against. That means intermediate sprint is easily going to be a top 2. So we're going to get a lot of points on the intermediate sprints from this one.
To a solo breakaway. You should perhaps wait and join forces with the counterattack.
He's inside a minute now. 2k to the one and only KOM point of the day. It's all or nothing on this one. I think it's only a single point available. Yeah, 1 point. 1.4k to go on it. Apparently I am the stronger of the two of us. Coming up on 1k. It's not steep. Can't go full gas, can't go full gas, but we've already opened a gap. 5 seconds. Okay, let's finish strong. And we got it. We got it. Nice. Coming up on the first intermediate sprint point, and we're just over a K out from it, and it is mostly straight. We're going to go now. Oh boy, he's faster than I am. I don't want to really block him here, but we can go. Yeah. I think we got it. Oh, I threw too early. Threw just a little too early. I'll get used to that in time. So he does get first through that one. But we didn't get the KOM, and we will have the KOM jersey, so at least there's that. And whoever wins the final sprint will have the sprinter's jersey for today, but we're going to be in good shape with points. Be nice if we can get that last one, though. Our gap over the peloton is shrinking rather fast. It was 4 minutes. They brought us back to 3 just a handful of kilometers ago. It's already down to 2:43, and yet we just went for the sprint. So they are coming pretty quick at us. Hofstetter has won the intermediate sprint there. Got 2K to go in the second and final intermediate sprint of the day. I've got enough energy to get through this one. We're definitely not going to get caught by the peloton, and we are definitely getting close. There's our 1K banner. I'm going to wait till we come around this corner because otherwise he's got to go around the outside. And it's a little uphill. That's a good advantage for me to try to open a gap on him, and it does work. I opened the gap. Can't go full gas now to the finish, but oh my goodness. Wow, he came on hard and fast. How did he do that? I was going 90% effort. I know sprint-wise, from the first intermediate sprint, that our speed is very similar. So having that advantage as we went over the top of that little hill, opening up 2 bike lengths on him, and then having it come back downhill, you have momentum. We had plenty of momentum, and 2 bike lengths became 2.5. So when I backed off to 90%, I figured he would only close that up a little bit, but he flew past us. He got 4 bike lengths on us in the last 60 meters. Man. The only reason why I backed off a little bit was because the red bar was running out. We just don't have enough stamina resistance at this point to hang on for a prolonged sprint, especially with that little hill that we encountered. The hill was good for us because it's what gave us the gap on him because we're a better puncher, similar sprinter. That's why I figured that would be enough, but no. And we're down to 1:22 over the peloton, so we're going to be hanging on, getting caught by the peloton here rather soon. And I guess it looks like we've got a little bit left in the tank, so we will be able to participate in the sprint at the end of the stage, you would think. So I was speeding things up and it did not work out well for me. Our low stamina got caught out as everybody speeds up towards the end of the race to make sure they're catching the peloton. That acceleration took all of the energy that I had left. Now DeWild is alone just up the road. You can see him just over the crest there. And I bonked out. I blew up. I've recovered since, but you can see that I am nearly out of energy here. And I'm going to have to set a tempo to try to recover a little bit on the way to the finish line. Fortunately, it's all downhill besides the last kilometer or two. We've now got 10K to go as we go under that banner, and I'm going to try to recover here, but it's going to be hard to hold position and recover because the peloton is going to want to go faster and faster and faster as we approach the finish line as teams are trying to set up their sprinters. So I may not get a chance in this one, but the downhill portion of this might just be enough to do it for me. I make sure I'm staying behind somebody, but you can see I'm drifting at the moment further and further back. Now I do have a little bit. We're kind of on the flat here, so let's put a little bit more on the foot down to hold position until we start decreasing again. It looks like the race official is about to go over a crest. That's the crest that I'm looking for. Once we go over that little crest, then it's going to be downhill for a bit, and we can hang on that little bit longer. But again, that pace is going up, and I'm drifting further and further back. So let's go ahead and hold on to Dennis here for a little bit. Yeah, big speed increase here. Wow, I just ground to a halt on the way to the finish line, trying to... I'm not used to the controls just yet. I should have been able to stay with the field there, but we nearly bonked out on the way to the finish line and end up at the back of the field off the peloton. I think that was going to happen either way. I didn't have enough energy to compete for that last little uphill portion on the way to the finish line. I was at the back anyway, so I wasn't actually going to compete in that sprint, but getting used to the buttons to manage your effort, it's still something I need some work on. And that KOM did pick up 4 points, and therefore we now have 18. 25 teams have competed so far this season. We've got a 22-point gap to AG2R. Wow, they are struggling that much, huh? That's good. That's good for us. That's an opportunity to move up, right? Pick up enough points here. We can see ourselves in 23rd. Every position counts. There's finances that come in at the end of the season to hire riders. I don't know if I'm going to be controlling that or if the AI does, but either way, our position's certainly going to matter. And right now, our best opportunity is to try to overtake AG2R, who just picked up 6 points themselves. So actually, the gap was 20. Now it's 22. With the King of the Mountains jersey, I get to sit right at the front of the peloton, which is making it a lot easier to get off the front. I'm going to back off a little bit here to make that corner. Love that portion about the game that you actually are controlling and managing the bike. And now I have a group of 3. Oh, come on. It didn't grab the wheel. It didn't grab the wheel, so those 2 are a bit ahead of me. Peloton is just 8 seconds behind, so they are not letting us get away. In fact, I'm going full gas here, and the gap is now 6 seconds. Let's use this little uphill to gain some momentum. Peloton's not happy with the makeup of the break, but we've got an intermediate sprint coming. There it goes. Okay. We're going to go full gas for a little bit. Looks like those 2 are going to get away, but I want to get that intermediate. Peloton's about to bring me in. Well, they're letting them go. It's me they didn't want going off the front. That's silly. But once I recover a little red bar, I am going to attack again. We've got a sprint point coming up in about 7 or 8 kilometers, I would think. We can't hold the field off. We're not going to win a sprint. And and here go the sprinters to get out there and go pick up their points. I think it was me they were worried about because I had picked up some points. There's 3 ahead of us. We're coming up on them pretty quick here. And we've got 3K to the intermediate sprint point. I'm just going to get whatever points I can here. I'm not going to beat guys like Hofstetter in a sprint. And I only have a little bit of red bar. Sagan also here. We're back in the peloton. Okay, we are back in the peloton with 2K to go. And there's another attack coming. I don't want to be attacking, but I've got to hold the wheel. Oh, this is a weird situation. Let's get some red bar. 1K. I don't think I'm going to get any points here from the look of it. Try to gel and try to stay in this thing. Is there any points left? The Wild's going to get the max 20. I don't know why they aren't worried about him, but they're totally worried about me. Okay, 20 seconds ahead of the peloton. We just got to keep an eye on that gap. Is it going out? Is it coming down? And it's out to 30 seconds already. So they are letting me go now, where they did not let me go before. They were very interested in me regarding the intermediate sprint. And yet the guy who was a couple points ahead of me, they didn't care about him going away. Apparently I was a bigger threat than him. As odd as that sounds. Now, what I need to keep an eye on here is no longer the gap to the peloton. It's going out. What we need to keep an eye on is the gap to the front 3. Because if I'm going to succeed, I've got to catch those guys. 2.5 minutes ahead. If they sit up a little bit, then the front three will sit up a little bit, and then I'll start closing that gap. Which, look at the gap right now. On this little hill, just like that, down to 1:05. I've pulled back 20 seconds in a short period here. Now we get it inside a bit. But once we go over the crest, will it continue to drop? Because we've brought it down to 53 seconds at the expense of a whole lot of energy consumption. 40, 45. We're getting to 45. There they are.
Stabilized.
Time gap stabilized at 2:30. Does that mean they sit up? Please, because the uphill portion is about done. We're at 1% gradient here. 39 seconds. Still coming down. First KOM point of the day. I have the jersey right now, but with 4 of us here, I doubt that I'm going to be the favorite to hang on to it on a day like this, especially as my hills rating is still quite low. 1K to go on the KOM. We'll try. Right now, I want to kind of come through here. And now I do come through. I don't need to attack just yet, but you can see it does ease off a little bit. Campin' Arts has got to be a favorite if he wants. If I can get over this little crest, it's an easier push for the last few hundred meters. And I am going to get over the line first. Throw just in case. But yeah, we got it.
Excellent. You increase your lead on the
Oh, come
overall
on.
climate
What's
standing.
going on? Oh. Okay, that's a minor bug there. You pull the trigger to pedal, and absolutely nothing happens. I had 0 acceleration happening there, and that ends up getting me dropping behind and having to waste more energy to catch back up. But that's my second KOM point, and they didn't really challenge. So if I'm lucky, they're not going to challenge the next 2 either, and that's going to give me a wonderful opportunity to pick up max points today. If I pick up those next 2, I'll have 4 points, and that'll guarantee the jersey for another day, as there's only 3 Cat 4s remaining, meaning 3 total points still available after the next 2. 2.5K to go here on the second climb of the day. This one's definitely longer at just under 3 kilometers, but just 3.2%. So it's a pretty easy climb. It's a fairly short climb, but it's definitely more than what we encountered on the last one. 2K to go. Campin' Arts, I'm kind of forcing him into doing the work. I'm not wanting to take a turn here.
Before you reach the summit.
It might frustrate them a little bit, but I've done my work throughout the stage otherwise. Okay, 1.4. Starting to get to be about that time to think about when and where to go. Looks like there's a big left-hander before the top.
He launched the mountain sprint.
800 meters. Does it get steep after that? It looks like it does. I'm not going too hard yet. I want to go out of the turn. There you go. And we got it. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. Yes. Will it actually latch on this time?
You increase your lead on the overall climber standing.
All right. That's what we needed. And we're already 5K within the next one. So do we have the energy? Just about. Okay, inside a K. Ascano is pushing harder this time. It's a steeper one, and he's opened that gap a little bit here.
It doesn't seem to be a good
I don't want to push. I didn't want to push early, but he's kind of set that up. Now we want to push. And we're going to get it again. Nice.
His teammates are riding to protect
This
the jersey.
time I was challenged. Oof. Come on. Oh my goodness. It does not want to... It's like after you challenge for a sprint,
Opponents are up in the
it just does not like reestablishing follow. Is it...
His teammates are the handle on things
It's
for the
like you
overall
can't tell if it's locked in and you got a corner coming.
the gap.
You're either crashing right into the corner. There we go. Okay. Well, hey, We've done it. We've gotten the maximum points so far, 3 KOM points to go with the 1 we got on the last stage, giving us 4, guaranteeing the jersey will be ours for another day. So we've picked up at least 4 more points for the team today. Peloton is now just a minute behind, so I don't know if we're going to be ahead for that intermediate sprint. I would love to, because we could really use those intermediate sprint points. Oh, I wasn't even working and I blew up. Their pace is just too much for me. I blew up. I've blown up again. We're going to get straight to the end of the stage. So we're going to get dropped by the Peloton here shortly and just get to the finish line. When that tempo increases in the field right now, as a rider, I'm just not strong enough to hang with that tempo increase, especially after spending the day in the breakaway. But it's spending the day in the breakaway that is giving me the experience that I need to get better so that I can hang in the Peloton. Maybe I could hang in the Peloton if I don't attack, but what are you gaining? Where are you getting the XP under that scenario? That's going to help you out. So we are doing what is necessary to get better as a rider. So no intermediate sprint points, but a KOM jersey for another day. And a long day in the break. It's a good day for us. After 2 stages, Soren Krag Andersen is the leader, ahead of sprinter Hofstetter. We'll see what stage 3 is. I think it's a punchy stage. Maybe it's a mountain stage. There's going to be some climbing involved, so you'd not favor Hofstetter under those circumstances. But KOM, I like that 3 riders pick up 1 point each, which gives me a better advantage. I still have a 3-point advantage over anyone else in that classification. We obviously want to get into the breakaway for the next stage, but we'll see what that profile is here shortly. Combativity classification, the Wild has been in both breaks. I have been in both breaks, but he's hanging in there longer, both stages. He's got better stamina than I do. When things speed up, he's staying in there a little bit better. So right now I'm 31 kilometers behind. If he's not in the break on the last stage and I do manage to get into the break, then we'll have that jersey as well. Technical start to this stage, and of course with that KOM jersey I was right on the front, and I immediately get out to a half-minute advantage, but here comes Jungels plus 1 other and Thomas de Gent. Those guys are going to be a much stronger group than I am, but at 40 seconds ahead, hopefully I will be established in the break here. We need to recover some red bar. So we back off just a little bit so that we can get that recovery happening. And it's okay that those 3 guys come up to me. It's just I don't want the Peloton catching up to me. But for now, Peloton 36 seconds behind. 2 intermediate sprints. Those are not very important. I'm a ways behind in the points classification. I don't think I'm going to necessarily challenge for that, so I just really want to hang in the group during that phase. But as we'll start backing off here, as I've been caught, and now I'm in a group of 3. De Gent somehow drops. There he goes. Now he's with us. 4 riders, 30 seconds ahead. And we'll follow Jungels for now. Here's the situation on the KOM, because that's what we're here for today, is collecting breakaway bonus, but also competing for that KOM. There are 6 Cat 4 single point KOM opportunities out there. Now, there were 3 riders that picked up 1 point. So assuming, I don't think they're here. They're not. Jungels, Waller, De Gent, none of them have points in the classification. That's already a good sign. But that's not to say that the guys who claimed points on the last stage aren't going to be there for the finish today, where at least 1 point's available at the finish line. We know I'm definitely not getting that one. So let's assume that those points are still up for grab and relevant. I have a 3-point advantage in the KOM. There are 6 points available on the day, which means if I pick up 2 points, that means the other 4 points, no matter who gets them, they won't be able to touch me. So all I need to do is win 2 of them today. Schlegel also trying to break away. Kirsch is trying to break away. We are a minute 13 ahead of the Peloton. let's hope that we stay away. We're going to speed things up a little bit. Gap is slowly coming out now. That rider Schlegel went back into the peloton and they immediately sat up. Now we have a 2-minute advantage. Looks like the breakaway is firmly established. I am contributing here. I don't have a ton of energy. These guys are all stronger riders than I am, of course, as we are still just starting out. It's only our second race. Winning the intermediate sprint is worth something in terms of objectives. So we come through with 1K to go and slight downhill. Let's go. Let's see if we can get it. Got the inside too.
The front runners are 5 kilometers from the first intermediate sprint.
Oh, yes. The bike throw this time perfectly timed, and Waller, I hold the gap. I was just ahead. We both throw, and the throw kept me just ahead. I win the intermediate sprint, and winning the intermediate sprint means a lot more than taking second or getting the points. The points I don't necessarily need, but winning the intermediate sprint is ticking up on those objectives as a sprinter, which is going to make us better in all sorts of ways. Okay, coming up on that second intermediate sprint, little uptick, a little hill here before we enter, so this 1K to go isn't necessarily the time where you want to be sprinting, and these guys are trying to sprint early. I don't think I can really keep up with that pace for that full kilometer. You can see my red bar is already super low, so yeah, we're definitely not going over the line first this time. I couldn't, because it was a 6% gradient at that point, and we can barely made that corner. We can barely that's the word I'm looking for. Barely make 1 kilometer flat. We're not going to make 1 kilometer at 6% gradient, even if that 6% gradient ends rather quickly. It's okay, I don't have a lot of energy. I'm not going to last too long, but we've got hopefully 2 KOMs coming up that we can grab, or see a different guy win each of them, because that already would set us up for that. 2 points are gone, only 4 remain, and 2 guys with 1 point means I still have a 3-point advantage over everybody else. So you get a little bit closer. Move up to second wheel. Give me a better chance. It's steep. I don't have much red bar left. 700 meters. Youngles is trying to come through, but I'm trying to hold this position here. Okay, this right-hander on the exit, if you're at the front, that's the best place to be. Yes, yes. Uh-oh, red bar's gone, but we got it. Okay, we got the point. We got the point. Oh, come on. Decathlon was dropped. I couldn't grab the wheel, so now I'm dropped. And on to the second one. We're already climbing 1.8K, 6% average. And we follow Youngles now as we go inside the 1K banner. We've got a left-hander coming up, and it's definitely going to get steeper. In fact, it's already getting steeper. We round the corner, and it's even steeper. We're at 800 meters, 700 meters. Looks like we got a right-hander. We want to attack before that right-hander. It's not a sharp right-hander. And get to the inside. There we go. Got to the inside. Manage the corner. And we'll get this one as well. And we now have a KOM jersey guaranteed for the race. Yeah, we're not even going to make it to the top of this one. Nope, we're not. Yeah, we're going to get dropped right here, folks. I've got absolutely nothing left. I would blow up if I continued to follow. So there they go. And they wait till the last 100 meters to attack. Waller takes it, but I've already got the jersey guaranteed. We're just not getting the last of these points. So Peloton will be catching up. They are 2.5 minutes back from the Peloton. 2 minutes back from me as we went over the top. We've already lost half a minute on these guys, and we're on our own now till the end of the stage. So one of the neat things about the game this year is they replaced downhill with agility, and the agility is for us an A+. Ratings are different per rider. The way it works, come on now. Okay, we got a little bit of recovery in there. 3% uphill. We'll just go slightly harder here. Actually, I really should just let the peloton come and get me and try to continue recovering for the time being. Anyway, so agility, you have a rating, A, A+, B, C, whatever it is. But when you crash, you lose confidence. And the confidence brings you down to D or F, whatever it is, your bottom rating. And you recover 1 grade per day as you go out, which means you have less agility for a while after you crash. It's a really cool concept on how that works, and it makes total sense to real life, as we've now been caught.
Watch him. He must feel able to win the stage.
I'm gonna slip backwards and eventually get dropped here, and might as well just see the end of the stage. But I think it's really cool. I think it's really cool how that works, that you go from an A+ down to that, say, a D, and then the next day, if you don't crash, you get to a C. If the next day you don't crash, you get to a B. The next day you don't crash, you get to an A. The next day you don't crash, you're back to your A+. Takes time to regain confidence after a fall on a descent, which is where that agility comes in most important as we approach the finish line of this final stage. And the final standings, Soren Kragh Andersen has won the overall ahead of Turgis and Strong. I finished at 21 minutes down and 144th in a field of about 144. Best climber, that's what I went for though, and it's a good thing that I did continue to get some points anyway, because Kragh Andersen and Youngles both picked up a second point themselves, but the 4 points I had actually turned out to be enough. But the 2 points, let's say Youngles wins both of those, and we would have been level on 4. Points classification, I actually moved up to 5th, 68 points, but that was not what we were aiming for when we went for that. You win the sprint, and that's the objective tick. Strong takes the young rider classification. As a team, we were 3rd. Not bad on that part. And the combativity, the Wild was not in that vital break, so I do pick up the kilometers I need to win the combativity classification as well. So that's going to be a double KOM and combativity. That's going to be 20 points that I pick up, plus the 4 points on the first day, a couple points each subsequent day, I think. So all in all, we're going to accumulate roughly 28 points is my guess. See if that's correct. Yeah, we're up to 36 now. 28. Yeah, we had 10, I believe. Nealon's now sitting on 8 points himself. I'm 57th. I've got my entire team, and yet I am the one who's 57th. Nealon's is the only one with any points otherwise. That's impressive to see that I'm the one scoring points, but it's because I'm the one who's going out there and being aggressive. The team is the one that matters at this point, I think anyway, improving our position. And we've done just that. We have overtaken AG2R, which is a major team. For those not familiar with the sport, AG2R is a major French team. That's the other thing, right? Most popular bike race in the world. Go. If you did not say Tour de France, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know the sport. It should be a no-brainer. You can ask anybody who's never even seen cycling, what is the most popular bike race? Wait. Hold on. I've seen those little quiz show type things, right? People post them on YouTube, or they show up on the Tonight Show or whatever, Daily Show. You quiz random people on the street. Now, Americans are particularly bad at these, and they're like common sense questions. Not everybody's going to be able to answer. this question. However, you poll 100 people, what's the highest answer going to be? Family Feud style, right? Number one on that board is going to be Tour de France. French teams, Tour de France. French teams have a lot of pressure. AG2R is a big team with a lot of pressure on it. For them to be down in 24th, oh boy. Flanders Baloise also down there in 25th. I mean, that's a year ago. That's Vlaanderen. That's Sport Vlaanderen. To see them also below us. We've only been in 2 races. 23rd in the rankings. But we only have one more race that we are going to be partaking in our first season. Are you kidding me? But I want to see how much do we grow and develop here. That's a lot. I like it. Couple rating, mountain rating don't go up at all. But there weren't any big mountains. We didn't face any of them whatsoever. But in the flat, we finished flat stage number 2. So we're up to a 57. In the sprint, attack the brake 5 times now. We've attacked and gotten off the front for at least 10K, and we win intermediate sprint number 3 for us, so we add 2 more sprint points from a 63 to a 65. Acceleration goes +3, hills +4. Ooh, that's going to come in handy. That is going to come in handy. Medium mountain +1, win an overall mountains classification. Okay. We need 200K of solo breakaway to get our next point there. We need to lead over the top of a Cat 2, and that's going to be tough. It's going to be hard to get these points. It's going to be hard to get those points for sure. Finish a mountain stage. That's our next mountain point. Time trial. Solo breakaways, we pick up a couple points. Prologue, we pick up a few points. Stamina. It's a very important one because we're not making it to the end of stages here. 3 points we picked up. And resistance, 4 points picked up. Also very important. You need that red bar to win those sprints. And recovery, +2 to whatever that means, but up to a C. Also important for the longer the race is. All right, folks. Well, we've made a whole lot of progress. We are now a 68.6. From a 62 to a 63 to a 68. No, it was 64, 65, now 68, right? But we gained +3 to our overall, and we are now considered a medium mountain rider instead of a mountain rider. And why? It's dynamic. It's clearly dynamic. Hills rating is our best right now of the useful stats. So, yeah, we're for now transitioning that direction. We'll eventually transition back the other direction. But we complete a fair number of objectives in this one, and apparently our overall is at 20% of objectives complete. That's a lot for 2 races. That's a lot of progression. I'm happy with that one. Hey folks, this is an important time in the development of this series and this getting out there and getting known. Episode 1 is already doing ridiculously well. It had at least 1,500 views on day 1, which was not expected for the Tour de France title. If you're back for episode number 2, if you want to see more of this, for this Let's Play to be successful for a channel of my size, which is rather small at this time, the algorithm need a lot of help with it. So please take a second, drop below, click that like button, leave a comment to help with the algorithm. It's most important in the first 3 episodes. In particular on a small channel. I don't have any natural boosts. I need that help. So take that moment, leave that like, leave that comment, and it'll really help out. If you have not done so yet and you would like to, please also subscribe. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. And bye for now. And happy birthday to my wife.